Hi, welcome back to Facebook Kids Church. We're continuing the story of the life of Joseph. And we're learning this week's big idea. This week's big idea says, it's time to wait on the Lord. It's time to wait on the Lord. I would like you to make up your own motions for the big idea this week, and then post a video of yourself doing those motions while saying the big idea. Let's say it together one more time. It's time to wait on the Lord. Joseph had to do a lot of waiting. Remember, last week we talked about how the cupbearer had a dream in prison, and Joseph told him that he was going to become Pharaoh's friend again and be called back to the palace. And that's exactly what happened. And when he left, Joseph said, "Friend, please don't forget me. Tell the Pharaoh about me." But you know what happened? The cupbearer was so excited about being Pharaoh's friend again, he forgot to tell Pharaoh about Joseph. And Joseph had to do some waiting of his own. Not just a couple weeks. Joseph had to wait in prison 2 whole years. Can you imagine how frustrating that would be? 2 years sitting in prison, not knowing why the cupbearer hasn't said anything. Why hasn't Pharaoh called? God, what are you doing? Why haven't you delivered me, God? I'm still sitting here in prison when I have done nothing wrong. But Joseph didn't get angry at God or frustrated. He waited on the Lord. We're doing a lot of waiting right now. We're waiting to see when we'll go back to school. We're waiting to see when we can go to church again. We're waiting to see when we can go outside and play with our friends like we used to. But we have to remember, it's okay to wait. God isn't mad with us. This sickness isn't from God. But God is with us. Joseph did everything right, and he still had to wait. You know what? God is with us just like Joseph. And you know what? For those 2 years, God was working on Joseph's problems. God hadn't forgotten about Joseph. He was getting everything lined up so that everything would work perfectly for Joseph. Because after 2 years, Pharaoh had a dream. And he said, "Oh, this dream, it concerns me." And the cupbearer heard about it, and he said, "I know a man who can tell you the meaning of your dream. His name is Joseph." And Pharaoh called Joseph out of prison and said, "Come and tell me the meaning of my dream." If the cupbearer had told the Pharaoh right away about Joseph, the Pharaoh wouldn't have needed Joseph. He might have said, "Oh, that's nice," and just forgot about it. But because God was working, the cupbearer remembered Joseph just at the right time. And when Pharaoh called Joseph, he came and told Pharaoh his dream. And because of that, God used that to make Joseph the second most powerful man in all of Egypt, only under Pharaoh himself. See, God is working for us even while we're waiting. No, God didn't create the sickness that's going around that we have to stay at home and be safe. But God is going to protect us, and God is going to be with us, and He can use this time to teach us things like being patient, or how to obey our parents more, or how to be a better friend to our brothers and sisters, or how to spend more time in prayer. Because God is with us and He wants to talk to us, and now we have time. So use this time of waiting not to be upset or angry. Use it to say, "God, what are you doing, and how can I get to know you more?" Because remember our big idea this week. And say it again over and over to yourself. It is time to wait on the Lord. Practice your memory verse. Practice the big idea. Watch the video that I've put in the links for today. It's a great story from Yancey in song all about Joseph, what we're talking about. And I will see you tomorrow with a new song and motions. Bye-bye.